I suppose tenacity and just sticking with it. I mean, it wasn't easy. There's no doubt about that. It wasn't easy. I mean, at one point, there were 3 airlines operating in the local domestic market, a very small market, and clearly too many competitors for the market that we had. And we definitely, there were times that we seriously considered whether we should exit the scheduled game.
People who used to look at Proflight as a small, semi-charter company, when they saw the 737, then they realized, oh, these guys mean business. So they're an airline after all, And that has really boosted the Proflight image to the traveling public.
For Proflight as it is now, I mean, Proflight's roots are in tourism. And that's history in it, and so it always will have a strong connection with the tourist industry. But Proflight's, I think this growth period that we've experienced over the last 4 years has been driven by the local market and business. Zambian business is what's driving it, and I think that's been good for Proflight in that the tourist industry has a lot of, in my opinion, a lot of weaknesses, and the primary weakness is its seasonality in Zambia, and that was always a constraint on our growth, is because it's a capital-intensive industry, and to have very expensive assets sitting around and doing nothing for 6 months of the year just doesn't make sense, and now Proflight, we're probably 75% business and local leisure and 25% tourism, and that has enabled the business to have a far steadier production cycle over the year. Currently, revenues are up about 20% year on year from last year, and we would expect, the Zambian economy is growing at 6%, so we would hope that the domestic market's going to grow at 6 to 8%, and then any routes we add on will be added on. So that's extra growth by serving new markets.
Next month we start Dar es Salaam, and we've got Harare in our sights, so is Lubumbashi in our sights, and we hope this year or early next year at least we want to start on to Joburg. Yeah, I want to South Africa. Yeah, and there is also Mozambique. Yeah, we want to start opening to Mozambique.
We have to be realistic. We have a small market, and so we have to serve it with small aircraft, and the unit cost of a small aircraft is much higher than it is on a large aircraft. So as the economy grows, then we can deploy larger aircraft. We have moved up. We started the business with the Jetstream 32, it's an 18-seater. We now have 3 Jetstream 41s, which are 29-seaters. So with that, just that small step allowed us to our unit production costs to come down. And then obviously bringing in the 737 with 100 seats allowed us to further expand the market and offer more attractive fares into the market. And that has shown us that if you bring the fares down the market, there is a larger market out there. We are currently undertaking a study into 50-seaters. What the 737 has demonstrated to us is that the Zambian market probably needs something smaller than the 737, which has got 120 seats in economy configuration, and we feel that the current market conditions would be best served by a 50-seater type of aircraft.
Kira Irwin, Commercial Director, which involves overseeing the commercial department. Proflight's got 9 destinations domestically and 1 international destination at the moment. Last year we carried about 104,000 passengers, so it was the first time ever that we had flown that many passengers, and this year we hope that we're going to hit 120,000, if not more, with the introduction of the new routes and slightly more capacity on the existing routes. Our travel agents make up In total, they make up about 50% of our total sales. So it's 31% comes through the travel agents through our reservation system, but then we have a further 18% of bookings that come through the GDSs, both domestically and internationally. So all in all, the travel agents are about 50% of our business. So we do a lot of direct marketing to our agents, advertising. We use a lot of local radio. We use a lot of newsletter databases to send information out, and then we just use flyers and posters. And this year, with the introduction of our first in-flight magazine in Quasi, we're able to advertise a special in every edition of the magazine, which comes out once every 2 months. Proflight website, flyzambia.com, is very comprehensive, and we use it as a marketing tool. The website accounts for about 11% of our total sales. We have excellent social media. I think we're almost at 2,000 Facebook followers, and we have amazing Twitter following.
I am not afraid of heights, I'm not.
We decided that we would sign up the 5 artists as a super group, the Fly Five.
We knew you were London, we'll give the people what they're demanding. First class when we're traveling, and that's why we just keep on bubbling.
They're plugging Proflight, they're tweeting about it, they're Facebooking about it, they're talking about it over the mic, they're telling their friends about it, and hopefully by doing that we've managed to reach an audience who would not normally have known about Proflight and would not normally have known that they can afford to fly Proflight. And I think we will definitely continue our allegiance with the music industry. I think it's worked well for us, and it's a good platform to get messages across, and I think it is more effective and certainly more value than commercial advertising. Proflight at the moment have just under 220 staff members, so it's 218 staff members at the moment.
I'm a hands-on MD. Not a presidential one. I'm here to, I guess, lead more than anything else. And I think we at Proflight have a very hands-on philosophy. So all managers are hands-on people. We're fortunate we have a pretty settled team. Most of the senior management have been together for 5 years plus. And I think that's a help. Everybody understands the other person's position, and I think that's one of the foundations that we managed to build the success of the company over the last couple of years.
My name is Stalu Kabalika. I worked before in the Department of Civil Aviation for about 28 years. You know, Proflight is the only company in the country that has an AOC, so I think that speaks for itself. Proflight has been operating to great standards, in fact international standards.
The AOC was a big step forward for us, so that the AOC being the ICAO recognized license. Some of the reason why Zambia had problems with the ICAO audit was that we didn't have any airlines with a AOC, so that was a big step forward for us. And then IOSA will be the next big step forward.
The AOC is an international standard. All airlines in the world operate to that same basic minimum standard. So for Proflight, it was a major stepping stone going forward. It was a very strict audit process. Everything from engineering and operations was gone through with a fine-tooth comb. And we came out very well, and it's now opened the doors for us to operate beyond the borders of Zambia. Proflight Engineering does all the maintenance for Proflight. They're fully approved. All the engineers have been either to British Aerospace when they were offering engineering courses, or to South Africa and to Airlink with the 41 maintenance. All our pilots and engineers are trained to international standards. The company as a whole is a very conservative outlook. There's no glitz about Proflight. We spend money where it needs to be spent on the maintenance. The aircraft are our most important assets, so ensuring they're in the best condition.
I'm a senior aircraft engineer in Proflight. I've been working for Proflight since 2005. The whole purpose of us being here is to ensure that the aircraft, all of the aeroplanes that we operate, are in airworthy condition. In Proflight, I would be very happy to say that we've got actually a very good team of engineers.
We operate at 80% plus in terms of on-time performance, and we monitor that on a weekly basis. I mean, we're a pretty complex operation. During this peak season period, where we're operating over 200 flights a week, 200 sectors a week. So with 4 different types of aircraft. So it's quite a complex operation. I think Lusaka is turning into a mini hub. It's not a hub yet, but it's turning into a mini hub, and that is an opportunity for us. The market is growing, and Proflight really would like to feed the hub that is developing, and that's our objective. There's an opportunity there, and we'd like to be the ones that do it.